What is up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans? It's your old friend IndyCar Timm here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Daily Blitz Monday Night Football postgame edition. As the Bucs fall to the Ravens 41-31 in a game that wasn't that close, and in a game where you lost a lot more than just the game. Welcome into the show. Welcome into the program. I am IndyCar Timm, and follow me on the X and on the, Threads, at IndyCar Timm. I would love to converse with you about all things Bucs, all things NFL, and all things broken legs and hamstrings, I guess. Lamar Jackson throws for 281 yards and 5 touchdowns, helping the Baltimore Ravens overcome an early double-digit deficit to the Bucs and extend their winning streak to 5 games. With a 41-31 victory Monday night over the Buccaneers, who lost their top 2 receivers to injuries. Lamar, the 2-time NFL MVP, improved to 23-1 all-time against NFC teams. How crazy is that? It's like all he has to do is get to the Super Bowl, right? I mean, he just has to get there, and it's almost a sure win. It is by far the best mark by a quarterback against an opposing conference in NFL history. He's 3-0 against the Bucs, who faded after taking a 10-point lead with help from the 100th touchdown career reception of Mike Evans, but he departed with a hamstring injury after Mayfield tried to connect with him deep in the end zone again, and he looked like he was catching the ball, and then he pulled his hamstring, and he just said, screw it, and he fell to the turf, holding his hamstring already, grimacing. So it happened mid-play, probably mid-catch at some point. And then late in the fourth quarter, with the game completely out of reach, with under 2 minutes to play, the other receiver, Chris Godwin, had to be carted off the field with a left ankle injury. It appeared to be severe. ESPN would not show replays of it, but if you watched it real time or watched your own replay of it, it didn't look good. After the game, Todd Bowles said that initial indication was a dislocation, but that could mean anything. It could be broken. They didn't have any X-rays or initial tests or anything done at that point after the game. So, but big night by Lamar Jackson. He completed 17 of 22 passes with no interceptions, including TD throws of 9 yards and 4 yards to Mark Andrews. He also tossed scoring passes of 49 yards to Rashad Bateman, 18 yards to Justice Hill, and 11 yards to Derrick Henry, who also rushed for 169 yards on 15 carries, including that 81-yarder. Bateman had 4 catches for 121 yards. Mayfield finished with 31 of 45 passing for 370 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Those 2 interceptions cost the Bucs dearly. If you remember, the first one was in the end zone when he was throwing to McMillan. Somehow he did not see the interceptor. Marlon Humphrey, almost forgot who it was for a second. Marlon Humphrey intercepted both of them, by the way, who was standing right there, right where he threw the ball. That cost them as the Ravens scored a touchdown on the very next drive, on that drive. And then later in the game, when he threw the second interception to Humphrey, they kicked a field goal. So the difference on those 2 interceptions was 10 points. What was the final score? 41-31. That's a 10-point deficit. I know we got there kind of in a roundabout way with the Bucs scoring 21 in the fourth quarter when it really was already out of reach. By the way, the Dallas Cowboys did the same thing to the Bucs, or to the Ravens, in week, 3, I believe, in their 28-25 loss to the Bucs at AT&T Stadium, when they were down like 28 or 25-7. The Cowboys were, and literally in the fourth quarter, they did exactly what the Bucs did, but they got to within 3 with an onside kick. The Ravens are the only team that's allowed onside kicks against them this year, and they've allowed 2 now, as the league is 2-17 on onside kick attempts. But man, just an unfortunate night after such a fast start, after, celebrating Evans' 100th career touchdown catch, and a 10-point lead on the Ravens. You're at home. You're thinking things are going great. And after the turn from the first quarter to the second quarter, it was all Ravens. They scored 17 in the second, 17 in the third, 7 in the fourth, while allowing 21 points in the fourth to the Bucs. But by then, like I said, it was pretty much a done deal. Michael Evans missed 2 days of practice last week with what the Bucs described as a nagging hamstring issue. And apparently he aggravated that same hamstring on the potential scoring reception. Mayfield connected with him in the end zone again in the second quarter, but that was the one where he dropped it, fell to the ground with cornerback Brandon Stevens, who was also injured on the play, but he came back. Evans stayed on the turf for a long time as they went to commercial, came back. He had to be helped to his feet. He had to limp to the locker room, and he was ruled out at halftime not to come back. The Bucs played at home for the first time since Hurricane Milton made landfall on Florida's Gulf Coast, causing extensive damage to the Tampa Bay area. The Bucs were relocated ahead of the storm to New Orleans, where they practiced for 4 days before trouncing the Saints 51-7 last week. The Ravens lead the NFL with 1,476 rushing yards this season and have run for at least 150 in every game. With 243 on the ground Monday night, they became the fourth team since 1980 to begin a season with at least 1,400 yards in their first 7 games. The others are the Chicago Bears in 84, the 06 Falcons, and the 2019 Ravens. Henry's touchdown catch midway through the fourth quarter made it 41-18, and for all practical purposes, the game was over. The Bucs scored twice in the closing minutes, including a successful onside kick. Those scores gave the Bucs a glimmer of hope that was quickly extinguished when Godwin was hurt while being tackled by Roquan Smith on a 21-yard catch with about a minute left in the game. And that was it. And you know what? Todd Bowles will be second guessed. I've already heard it. I've already seen it on social media. He's going to be second guessed for still having some of the starters in. The injury would have never happened if you didn't have your starters in. The game was out of hand. You know what? Had the injury not happened and they lost 41-13 and everybody stayed healthy, those same people would be crediting Todd Bowles for not letting his guys quit and for not giving up on the game when there's still time off the clock and playing through the whistle to the end of the game, playing through the gun. So, you know what? The job of an NFL head coach is a thankless one. I do not blame Todd Bowles for any of this. The loss, maybe. Some sketchy defensive calls he made there during the game. But no, you cannot blame Todd Bowles for having his guys in near the end of the game. It was 41-18, and you still had a glimmer of hope because you were finally able to move the ball. Because like what the Ravens defense does many times, they kind of quit towards the end of the game with a big lead. And the Bucs were able to take advantage of that to the point of 21 points in the fourth quarter. They couldn't finish it. And yes, Godwin got hurt. But do not blame the head coach for this, for telling his guys to keep playing and try to win. That's the whole point. I applaud Todd Bowles for that attitude. Yes, it's unfortunate that Godwin got hurt. It was unfortunate that Evans got hurt early late in the first half. Are you going to blame him for that one too? Yes, he had been dealing with that hamstring issue. Should you have left him out of this game? It's the Ravens. You want to win this game. You've got Atlanta next week. You're trying to keep pace or get ahead of Atlanta. You'd have been ahead of them for the division lead if you won this game. So, no, I don't blame him for that. I know some people thought, you know what, it's an AFC game. Nobody cares. It doesn't hurt you if you lose it, and it really doesn't, other than the overall standings, the overall record. But no, man, Mike Evans is going to want to play. He's that guy. So I don't blame Todd Bowles for any of this, and you shouldn't either. If you disagree, hit me up on X or Threads and let me know at IndyCar Timm. I'd love to have a heated debate with you if you disagree and tell you why you're wrong. Other injuries, as we mentioned, Humphrey departed after colliding with a teammate while making his second interception and did not return. Mike Evans' only catch in the game was his touchdown catch. Safety Tyke Smith had a concussion in the second quarter and did not return. So, of course, the Godwin injury. We'll continue to monitor all of these. We'll probably have some more information on the Godwin thing and the the Evans thing tomorrow afternoon at some point. Make sure you head over to Athlon Sports, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Bucs Country for all of the updated Tampa Bay Buccaneers information, as well as here on FanStream Sports and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Daily Blitz. The Bucs host the Falcons on Sunday. We'll be here to preview that for you this week. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, give us a like. Go download the FanStream Sports mobile app so you get all of the latest, greatest information on the go, all of our live shows, all of our recorded content, videos, audio podcasts, all of that. If you're listening to the audio podcast for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Daily Blitz, go subscribe wherever you ingest your podcasts. We appreciate that very much, and leave us a great review. Until next time, boys and girls, y'all sleep tight, get some rest, have a good Tuesday, and we'll see you.